think coming off that game was a great environment. Really appreciative of the Alabama High School Athletic Association choosing us to play in a big game, and I'm proud and happy that we were chosen to play in it. Looking back at it now, I knew we had some question marks with our youth. We were really worried about going into it, not having a spring game. You try to answer a lot of those things at the first, and we were searching through a lot of stuff. And personally, as a head coach, and I'm sure there's a lot of other head coaches across this state and across this country that are dealing with this right now, I underestimated the impact of all of the protocols and rules and things that we have to follow on a Friday night to make sure that we're keeping our kids safe. All good things, all things that are necessary, but being a head coach and trying to run a football game and worrying about those things was a lot. And so we learned a lot of things, not just on the field, but also keeping our students safe and sideline management. And it was one of those nights for us. Rained all night. Our headsets didn't work. Even after we tested them, they worked. Our sideline replay didn't work. And so, it was extremely frustrating as a head coach thing, because so many little things that usually we don't have to worry about were at the very top of our list constantly. I'm really, really excited on the game that our offensive coordinator, Jeff Smith called. Thought he called a great game, especially early. We had some young kids play really well, and we had some kids that hadn't played before get that first taste, and they didn't necessarily have the game that they wanted to have, or that we expected them to have. But that's the part of football. You can't go out there every time, and especially with us, we only had 11 returning starters on the field, and so we had 11 new ones that we didn't know what they were going to do in the fire. And I'm proud of how a lot of them played. A lot of them didn't play up to their own expectations, and that's been the biggest part of this week, is being able to correct yourself, being able to come back out and go to work the next day, not feel sorry for yourself, and because that's what life is. Life's about being able to overcome adversity. My message to the boys after the game was simple. It was, football doesn't define who you are, but how you handle adversity on the football field can define who you are. How you handle the bad things that happen to you can define who you are. And those are the things that make football great. And that's the key factor that why we need to be playing this game across the country, is because this game develops young men. And I'm interested. I want to see how our guys develop. I want to see how they're going to respond. And Monday wasn't a good practice. Tuesday there was good spots of practice. And so far when we've responded okay, but I wish we would respond a little bit tougher on Monday. So Wednesday, today's finish day. Everything's got to be great today. So everything that we do today's got to be on point. And I want to see. I challenged our team really hard yesterday after it. And you know what? It's a good thing and a bad thing. The first thing is that this is the first team that we've had that has never lost. Since these guys were freshmen, there's been a winning season every year at Catholic. And in the previous year's classes, they understood. They knew where we came from. They understood where the program built, the hard work and the dedication, all these things that went into place to get where we are as a program. And sometimes you need that reset button. I'm glad we got it. On the positive note, had a lot of big plays. I think we had more big plays in that game than we had in our last 4 of the season last year. And, especially running with a 9th grade quarterback, I was proud of how he handled the majority part of the game. There towards the end, we had some adversity, and we didn't handle the adversity well. And that's something that we've got to be able to learn from. That's something that we've worked on in practice, going back to those situations, and tried to put them back in those tough spots again, and realize that they've got to come back out of it. And that's our job as coaches, to get these guys to play at their utmost capability and play to their full potential. And that's what we're going to do as coaches, and continue to hope and pray that this season continues, and that people across the state of Alabama are doing what the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama Department of Health recommend. I'm really worried seeing some social media posts from high schools that don't have stadium limitations. I'm really worried about that. That is not a part of what the High School Athletic Association and the Alabama Department of Health have recommended. And I'm hoping that other schools and other places take this as serious as we are, and our sideline management, how many people come to our game, and how are we preparing ourselves and keeping our fans, our student sections, and our student athletes on the sideline safe. I think that's very critical because it's not just about these first couple of games. We want to play, and we want to play 15. And so it's going to be up to all of us. So, my challenge to everybody here, if you're watching this and you're not a Montgomery Catholic fan, man, make sure your schools are doing what we got to do to make sure our kids continue to play. Because the last thing any of us need as football coaches who are trying to grow young men is to get 2-3 games in this thing and we have to stop. Because all these young men need a season of growth. They need this development to teach them adversity, the highs, the lows, the goods, the bads. All these things have to be able to come together in order to develop these young men. And if we have to close down because we won't follow every guideline that is being recommended to us, it's going to be a shame. And it's not just about us. It's not just about the money that the athletic departments and the schools are going to lose by not having fans. That is not the main thing. The main thing is giving these young men an opportunity to do what they love, but more importantly, do it through a season so they can develop and grow in character and integrity and passion. And so I hope that's where we go. This week coming up, we've got a traditionally really good program. I'm really excited about where we have moved our game from Montgomery Catholic to Troy University. It's simple. Again, we're doing the same thing of trying to put our student section, our people, in the best situation possible. Our stadium, because of the recommendations, is not going to hold very many people. Our students, it's going to be really hard for our students to attend games and our fans to attend games. However, at Troy University, with the space that they have, it's easy for us to spread out. More of our fans can come. More people can support our kids and be at the ball game. We couldn't do that at home. So we reached out to Charles Henderson and Coach McCoy and asked him if we can switch this year and next year. That way we can have during this year of COVID football, that we can have more people there. And we are. And so that was the point of the change. So now we're going to Troy University, an unbelievably beautiful stadium, and really excited about playing in the home of the Trojans. And, again, it's not just about winning or losing. I made this comment not too long ago to some coaching friends of mine. We can't be the enemies. There's a invisible enemy right now for all of high school football, and that's what we're facing. And I see some schools are tackling that enemy, and they're doing everything they can to make sure we can continue to play football, and some of us aren't. And we've got to do it. We've got to be able to do that. I want these boys to play. This week's I want to see us bounce back from Catholic football standpoint. I want us to go out there and play harder. I want us to finish whenever the adversity comes in a game, because at some point everybody's going to have it. I want to see us respond better. I want to see us handle things better. I want to see us pick each other up on the sideline. I want to see our older guys lead better. And get back to doing what we do, which is holding each other on our football team at a high standard and hold them accountable every second of the game, every second in practice. And really appreciative and glad this is a second game. This is a blessing because we're going to get to play, and hoping, and my prayer every day is for our families and our kids, for our safety, and we get this opportunity. And look, the limit is 1,350. So we have 1,350 tickets on our side of Troy University. So come on, if you want to see a football game, I don't know how many are promised that we're going to have people in the stands. So come see it. If you're a Catholic fan and you can make that trip to Troy, come take it. The tickets are on sale at GoFan. So go to Charles Henderson High School's site on GoFan.com, and you can buy your ticket there. There's not going to be tickets sold anywhere else, so make sure you go to GoFan to pick up your ticket. And there should be plenty of space and plenty of room. I'm excited about our band and cheerleaders getting the opportunity to come as well. And ought to be another Friday night where the Catholic community come show what we're all about and the support. I love seeing the amount of y'all last week that were out to support us at Crampton Bowl. Again, I'm asking you and challenging you, if you come, keep social distance, keep your mask on if you're in the stands, and keep spread out. And we want to keep playing. There's so much space at Troy University. We need your help to make sure that we're doing everything that we can, that we're doing it right, and that we're in the stands, keep it spread out so we can keep this thing going, y'all, because it's not just about these 1 or 2 games. It's not about making money. It's about getting these kids an opportunity to grow and play this great game of football. Thank you so much, Knight Nation. We love you. Keep praying for us and keep supporting our guys. Go Knights.